Let's see if I can do that. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our open stable day from February, where we have a wonderful guest from Canada, Lacey Piper, who will show us our stable today, and she will open it and she will guide us and show us around and tell a little bit about what she's doing and what her gifts are to this world. And she's a wonderful lady. The two of us met in 2019 virtually only on Instagram. And welcome. Hello, so glad to have you here. Hi, Michelle. And yeah, I have a few rules. I don't know if you can read this. It's a bit small. So I wrote welcome in Dutch because I was thinking in Dutch. For some of you, you might know I live in Belgium. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. That's on the bottom, on the reactions. You can raise your hand. And then we can unmute you, and then you can say your question in person, or if you don't feel like you want to do that, you can just put a question in the chat and then we will answering them during our event today. And what we will do, we're recording the session and we will share the recording with you later. And also we had a couple of people who couldn't make it to this event today, so we will share with them the recording later on. And during this event, we also plan to have a little meditation for the people over in Ukraine and in Russia who are at war at the moment. And we want to hopefully send some healing energy over there so that they feel more peace in their life and maybe have this war stopped soon. And I would love to hand over the word to our beautiful co-host Lacey now, who will guide us around her stable. Welcome, Lacey. So glad to have you here.
Hello, everybody. So glad to be here. It's a typical, winter day in Canada here, so I'm really hoping that the Wi-Fi holds out and that it works good here. I was thinking we'll have to do this again in the summertime because, oh my goodness, it looks completely different here.
I think that's a good idea. We can do this in summer, then your hands won't freeze off because it's very snowy in Canada today where Lacey is. And let's hope her internet connection is okay. Are you still there, Lacey? Yeah. Okay, she's there and she's frozen. Can you see the same, Michelle? Or can you see her moving? Oh. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, now it's better, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on my data and see if that helps because the Wi-Fi can be spotty here. All right, so I'm roasting. I had to get my stuff on here to go outside because it's a beautiful Canadian winter day out there. Blustery, but the sun just came out actually before we got started here. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I'm so excited to share with you about my vision and what I have going on here. And oh man, it's been such a divinely intervened and guided journey to get here. So it's been so fun, and I'm happy to share it. And that's really what it's about. It's so much more than my own lifestyle. I really want to share it with everybody. And I realize that, I've been on this guided kind of mission for, over 10 years now. And things have, been aligning for me and bringing me to this for a long time, longer than I realized. So it feels so cool for it to really be coming together now and, finally be ready to go and offer what I've been working away at much for doing this, Hildy. It's such a cool opportunity. And I so enjoy your friendship, and you inspire me on a daily basis, with what you're doing as well. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think we both have been seeing each other growing over the years. We have been following each other on Instagram and could see what's been happening on your side, and how much progress you made, and what's been happening on my side. And I forgot actually to mention why I started this Open Stable Days series. Wait, I will get up because it's a bit strange if I sit down. So I don't have my open stable yet. I don't have my own farm yet, but that's my dream. That's what I want to have when I turn 50, and I'm now 43. And I started this journey to start my own business and to work really hard to have my own ranch one day. And I developed this Open Stable Day series, where I interview women who are inspiring me and who have already made so much more progress on their own journey by having their own ranch with horses and by sharing their gifts with the world. And Lacey is one of the people I have been following, for quite some years, and I have been learning so much from her. She has been doing a reading session with my horse since 1 year. I have a horse finally, and I have done a coaching session with her with the horses, and we have gotten to know each other a little better. And I'm so happy that she agreed to join my Open Stable Day series as my second guest. And I have a couple of questions, and maybe I start with them, and then we can have you continue a little bit more, and then everybody else can ask their questions. So when was the first time that you started to sense that you have a gift for healing people?
The first time that really comes to mind, that I recall receiving messages, I was a child, probably around, I'm going to say 6 or 8 years old. I was out in the horse paddock with my mom, and I had a pony, and I just remember saying to my mom, I think I can hear the horses. And I could, like, I was hearing their soul talk is really what it is. It's not like sometimes what we think it is, talking about hay and the earthly things. They're working on a totally different level as well, a very conscious level. And so that was the first time that I really realized that that was happening. But all through my childhood, as far back as I could remember, I was, the caretaker and trying to heal the puppies in our, we had stud dogs. And so we would have, multiple litters of puppies every year. And there was always the runts and the ones who weren't making it. And I was always the one to be helping them and, taking the time and just caring for them. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but I've come to understand that as a part of the journey as well, right? That we can't save them all. And that's part of the understanding and surrendering to the greater, laws that are out there. It's not all up to us. So that part of it is hard for sure, but I've really learned to have a different relationship with the passing, and so I guide them through that phase as well, if that is the case, and I can help guide, and support owners of and family of the pet as well, which is difficult for sure. It's emotional, and but I also feel so honored to be able to do that for people and to provide some sort of relief and understanding, right? Sometimes we're just left with so many questions and things we wish we could have said. And I do the same with humans as well. So in my Reiki sessions, it's come up, that there are family members who have kind of unfinished business and things they wish they could have said, and those messages will come through. So it's just been this really amazing process of learning to trust myself and my gifts, and honoring them, and my energy, and recognizing that it is a sacred and something that I need to take care of and treat with respect, right? It's not like a party trick that you you pull out and and call lottery numbers, and I don't do like, who should I marry type of thing. That's not what I do with this gift. And I'm here to guide you to your own answers. That's really what I do. So that you can feel like you won the lottery of life, and it's really about loving yourself. So that's where my guidance comes from, a place of that. And then I just have developed this relationship with spirit and the source of my understanding, and have continued to receive this channeled guidance over the years, and just learn to really trust it. And it has led me to this absolutely magical life that I get to live today. So I just go with it. I really don't second guess it too much anymore. I used to, at first I was like, oh gosh, this feels weird and strange, right? But because you're going against the grain, and you're going against everything you've been programmed to believe and understand. So it's really this process of unlearning, to be honest, and really getting to know who you are on an authentic soul level, and connecting with the greater source out there than yourself, and then the ones that were shown, right? There's a whole other level of guidance available to us out there. So yeah.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful. And that's been such a long time then, when you were a little child. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's been over 15 years since my first son was born. He just turned 15 this week on Thursday, and so I was reflecting. He was really the the launch pad that sent me on this. Oh,
what's
do
it
you want
name?
me to? Somebody else is coming in, Hildy. Do you want me to admit them?
I admit that yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it should be able to join.
It was just on my side as well. Yeah, so it's very consciously, since for about 15 years now that I've been on this journey, but recognizing that I was always on it, even if I wasn't conscious of it, right? We're still on the journey. We're just not aware, and working it to our best advantage, right? I was always manifesting, I realized, but when I was so full of anxiety, I was often manifesting things that weren't favorable to me. So just learning how to work with energy and myself, right? It's all about the journey back home is what it's been for me, back home to my soul and my heart space, and staying in that um, place of being true to yourself,
Yeah, beautiful. And while you were starting to talk about puppies, my dog showed up. Well, before she was far away and sleeping, and then suddenly she was awake and decided she wants to join in and say hi.
Mine will probably come outside with us later. Lola is a therapy dog that we have here. She just knows exactly when somebody needs a snuggle or a hug or to play. She's great for that. She loves the winter. She's part husky, so she gets all excited when it snows, and she'll try to steal my gloves and just get me playing. And it's often when I need it the most, when I'm stuck in human mode and busy brain mode, and she just like, yeah, let's just play. It's just that's what life's for, really. If we're not enjoying the ride, then what's the point? That's what I think.
That's so true. That's also something I love my dog for. She's always so happy and in a good mood. She reminds me that life is, just every time you come home, it's just like, yes, if you haven't seen each other for 30 years or something.
Yeah.
Funny. It's a lot we can learn, I think, from animals, right?
Oh, so much, yeah. For creature teachers.
So when did you start then your own business with it? Because you have been, as a child already, having discovered that you have some extraordinary gifts with I mean, I don't hear any my animals talk. I don't know what they're saying, to be honest. And you sound like somebody like Dr. Doolittle, you can just
it has become pretty normal to me, and I used to really all keep it to myself, and I'm just pretty open about it at this point, because it's actually painful for me to keep my gifts to myself at this point. So I believe that my greatest pain has led me to my greatest purpose, because I would love to say it was this beautiful little journey I had, and because I recognized it as a child that I had been working it since then, but it didn't go that way at all. it's been such a process of unlearning, like I said, and learning how to trust myself and my intuition over everything else, you know. Yeah, yeah, I see people, April's resonating with that. And so it's been quite a few years that I've been in business. I suppose I'll say that recovery is a huge part of my story. You know, I didn't understand how my gifts worked, and when I said that to my mom that day, she didn't judge me or anything, but she didn't know how to help me with it either. So I was very lost with it and alone. I was raised Catholic and in a very patriarchal environment, and you women didn't have any gifts or powers. That was crazy and witchy and weird and very labeled and felt very negative to me growing up. And I was lucky enough to be raised on a farm. But it can be a very tough life, and especially in those time periods, it was a little bit hard, right? And you have to detach at some level to survive. I have even found here, I'm so sensitive and empathic, but I can't give my entire heart over to every single little creature that comes by me, right? I have to, have some boundaries with it. And that's been a huge part of understanding how to honor my energy and manage it, right? And I think that's what I mentioned. We can't save absolutely every human or every animal that crosses our path, but that's not going to stop me from trying.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is also something I've learned as a business owner. It's really about setting priorities. You cannot help everybody out there, and at the same time also have enough energy left for your own, for your own needs. And
Yeah.
I always say like 50% of being a business owner is self-care. Cannot really.
That's been a hard lesson learned for me. Oh, for sure. Yeah, so I've been chipping away at this for quite a few years, and so I got away from my my gifts and had this really long period of my life where I was in a pretty dark place, and drinking a lot and partying, and that was my way of coping with the pain. I didn't have any other tools at the time, and I was in so much emotional pain. Um, I had a lot of trauma and different things happen and go on in my life that I recognize now are gifts. On the other side of them being transmuted, I can use them to help other people process and go through these things that are not necessarily negative. They can feel horrible at the time. Some of the things I have experienced, I wouldn't wish on my worst, anyone. But they made me who I am, and they were my greatest lessons and teachers. So I have to honor them and be grateful for that. It's not the universe's fault that I'm such a stubborn, hard learner sometimes, and they have to send me hard lessons.
Same here. When people used to tell me the oven is hot, don't touch it, I still had to touch it myself. I just couldn't. I had to make the mistakes myself in order to really be sure,
Yeah, I am that way. And experiential learning, that's what I've come to understand it as, right? That you really need to understand things for yourself. And I'm such a hands-on learner. That's what part of brought me to working outdoors and with animals. I get so anxious inside, and I have to be doing things and creating with my hands. And I love like touching the earth and gardening and touching and feeling the animals. And I use my hands for Reiki and healing now. And I've always been sewing and knitting and doing very crafty hands-on things. And to me, it really connects our minds and our bodies in a beautiful way, and it honors our ancestors as well, right? When we're doing these things, it was my grandmother who taught me how to knit and sew, and so every time I do those things, I'm honoring her, right? And I'm cherishing her memories as well.
That reminds me of my grandmother. She taught me all these things. She was a teacher of knitting and sewing and everything, and I really sucked at it, but but It's true. Whenever you do these things, you cherish them, and that's also something I loved. Like I joined a session of you last night, in the middle of the night, actually, which was so beautiful. I loved it. It was amazing, and how you are connected to our ancestors and the former lives and everything. And also I loved how we like imagined our feet on the ground and the sand and touching the earth and healing. We forget about it. I mean, I'm now I'm not on the ground. I'm on the second floor of a building. I'm not connected to the earth, which is a shame. And a lot of times we spend so many hours of the day doing that. We spend times in the office. I mean, a lot of people are doing that, and we lose touch of our earth. And then we're in the car, or we're in a train or something, and we're not anymore connected. And then we wear shoes all the time, and
and our phones, we're always distracted and connected in different ways, but it certainly has formed a disconnection as well. So as much as I love technology, it is so cool and has brought so many neat things into my life. I really strive to have a balance with it. So making sure that I take my time with Mother Earth, and I turn my phone off. Usually Sundays is a day I take off my phone because I work on it. No, it's okay. This is worth it. But just to give myself a break from messages, and I even catch myself, thinking about my business and the things going on my phone when I'm not on it. So it takes our energy, a lot more than we realize sometimes, right? And I'm always conscious. I clear my phone with crystals and clear my energy after I'm on calls and things like that, because it can be a lot coming at us, especially when we're looking into world events, right? And the things going on. It can be overwhelming and for sure overpowering.
Yeah, at the moment, especially with the war in Ukraine, I don't know about how it is in Canada over there, but here in Europe, there's nothing else on the news. And when I put my phone off, and you like one post about this, I mean, there's a lot of, your whole timeline is only like showing suddenly war. And And what I wanted to say to Nicole, who just joined, and she was a bit late. I have been putting you on mute, and I've put everybody else on mute apart from Lacey and myself, because I didn't know how many people would show up. But since we are only 6 people here, I think it's also safe to unmute ourselves if you feel like doing that, and just ask a question. Raise a hand if you want to ask a question, or just kindly interrupt us, or because if it's so few people, we can make the session much more interactive. And if you feel a bit shy, you don't want to share, you don't want to put your camera on because you're, I don't know, like me just a few minutes ago coming out of the shower or something, or still need to comb in your hair, that's totally fine as well. You can also just put a question in the chat, and I will have to open the chat so I can see it. That makes sense. If you want to put any question you have there, just shoot. And if you feel like you want us to talk about something that's on your mind, please feel free to just join in and make this as interactive as possible. So my next question is, can you tell a bit more about your horses and maybe show us around your ranch? You want to do that now, or you want to do it later?
Yeah, I'm roasting in here. I was going to say, let's do it.
Good. Let's do this.
Okay. I want to pull a card too. I was hearing to do that, but I'll just put it in my overalls here. I'll bring it with us, and it might happen outside. I have my drum out there already.
Great. So, you want to pull a card? I'm going to add that on our agenda a little bit.
There's the heathen of the homestead. So I'm gonna flip my camera around here, and I'll give you a little view of my Reiki room, my healing room. So usually I bring people in. There's my husband. We have tea and do a chat, and I usually bake some treats or have something available, and we just have some couch time and talk about what's going on in your life and the world, and just get acquainted and unload a few things if you need to do that before your session. I have so many cards. We usually pick a card. I've been playing with my runes there that I'm learning about. And I'll show you my altar here. I have usually all the candles are lit on there, especially, you know, in the moon cycles when I'm doing work in that way. Endless books and, and journals about things. And this is my little witchy shop area, but I don't have much in there right now. I got cleaned out and I haven't had a chance to restock it. And we have a nice wood stove in here, so it's nice and cozy. This is my creation station, I call it, and my desk there where I work from. And it gets so warm right beside the fire. I have to stay hydrated there. And then this is my Reiki space. I have some certificates. And this is my little Zen zone. Usually when I am on Zoom and stuff, I sit in here because it's a nicer background, but I knew we were going outside today. So yeah.
Love it. I really want to come. Hopefully one day, I mean, COVID is already better. Let's hope this war is not, you know, it stays local or it stops really soon. So.
Yes, I would love to come see you as well. Okay, I'm just gonna bring water. All right, so we'll head outside here. Actually, I'm gonna turn the camera around again and show you guys from that view. Oh, it's actually gotten nicer out there. It's not quite as blustery.
Oh,
right.
the sun is out, especially for
yeah, it just changed.
There was no sun, there was snow.
For us, yeah. This is my little, in the summertime, I have a day bed out here and it's another little chill zone, but right now it's a wood pile area at the front door because that's our main priority in the winter time. Okay, so I'm super lucky. I have like 3 different paddocks here. So it's really icy, unfortunately, right now. I'll show you. So the girls can't be out here in the big paddock. It's like literally a skating rink. So I don't want to chance it and have them out here, but they have this nice, big, beautiful area that goes all the way up to the barn. I'll show you. And then on the other side of it, there's another paddock that I use there alternatively to let the grass come in here a bit. And I also use it as a little bit of a working rink because it's a great size for that. And then like on the other side way at the tree line there is the river. And I have another paddock down there. I call it the Magical Meadow. I have a fairy forest and a sacred spiral down there. But it's a little bit of a walk, so I'm not sure we'll make it down there today.
Can you maybe go somewhere where there's a little bit less wind? It's very...
Yes, I was wondering if you can't hear me. I'm going to head out into the barn. I'll just show you. This is where our garden goes. Over here, we have a huge garden. Past the snowbanks there. And so that's one of my projects is involving the community in gardening and growing their own food. I'm really passionate about sharing that with people. And that's going to be our chicken coop this year, hopefully. That's one of my projects. And here's my lovely ladies getting some sunshine. They love to suntan in the little, against the barn, it reflects there.
Aw, it's so cute.
They're so pretty. I'll introduce them inside where you can hear me better. Hey girls. All right, so the barn is my favorite little place to hang out. This is my little Zen space in here. It's kind of put away for winter right now, but this is my memory shelf. I don't collect many trophies or ribbons, but I have so many memories. There's cards and things that people have made me and gifts and you know, from some of my favorite horsewomen that I've connected with over the years. So I'm so grateful for that. And so we just sit in here. I'll bring clients in here. The kids come in here in the summertime when we're functioning. We do crafts, we do sessions, we've done drum making out here. And it's just a really nice alternative space as to inside. But you still have some coverage, right? It opens up so you get a lot in the sun and nice open space. And then I want to build a little retaining wall here and have my minis over here where my hay is right now. so that I can involve them in the sessions when we're working over in this area here. So it's like this was an old cow barn, so it's come quite a long ways in a short time. I've only been here since last April, so it's only been not even a year yet, and I've managed to make so many things teal already. My father-in-law just loves it. So this is my girls' run-in barn. They are very lucky. Oh, I should have brought them some new hay. They'll probably come in here anyways, though, because they love attention. Hey, girls, can you come in? Come on. All right, so this is where I would bring people to meditate with the horses. And I thought I can turn the camera around here. And we can hang out. This is Curious Georgie. She's my baby girl. She's gonna be 3 in May.
Hello.
And she has been, oh man, such a good teacher for me. I have had the pleasure of knowing her since she was about a week old. And she's been a feisty little thing right from the start. But she's here to help me and help so many others. These horses remind me of that all the time. They're always pushing me and you know, keeping me going on this path. When I think I can't keep going, they'll send me messages and they make sure they're like, we have work to do. Come on, let's go. So yeah, it's been so fun.
Aww.
So I have my drum out here. Oh, here comes Mama. This is Mama J, or Journey is her full name. These two are not they're not often far from each other at all. She's the best mummy I have ever seen. Don't knock over the chair. I need that. Oh, now she's at my cart. They're both very curious.
Did she pull a card?
She was at the deck, yeah. And Georgie was at my drum when I was out here the other day. I'm hoping my drum works. It's kind of cold, but we'll see here. All right, so we could do a little bit of a meditation and just kind of get into some sacred space if everybody is open to that. And I can play a song here that I've been sent to share in regards to the state of this world. And I have the cards here. The horses are in and out. I'm sure if I grab some fresh hay, they'll stay in with us.
Daisy decided she wants to join meditation. She asked to be on my arms.
Aw, so cute. All right. Yeah, do you mind giving me 2 seconds and I'll just grab some hay because I'd like to have them in here with us. They probably will when I drum, but it's nice to have them join us.
Absolutely, yeah. So meanwhile, I can maybe ask somebody, is anyone interested to share a little bit about themselves and maybe say hi and unmute themselves or say something in the chat? Michelle, how do you feel about that? Do I have to unmute you? Wait, no, you can unmute yourself. That's
I got it. Thank you for putting this on today. This is wonderful. What a great way to get to know Lacey and to see you and to get to know you. The technology is just phenomenal. I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And certainly to everyone else who has joined. I am just getting to know Lacey myself and just met Hildy last night. I think it was 3 a.m. for you. Yeah, crazy lady, crazy. Yeah, it was well worth it.
Crazy.
Right on. So yes, Lacey's back. So carry on. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, I just asked if Michelle wanted to say a few words, and maybe April wants to say a few words. Hey, April.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm April Green. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, where the sun is shining bright. We just got done with a 6-day below freezing, breaking 123-year records, but sun is shining. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm excited to be here with Lacey, and I'm very open to receiving the messages that actually are going to be coming through here.
Great. So glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And Sandy and Nicole, anyone who wants to share and turn the camera on? Or if not, that's also fine. Oh, hello, Sandy.
Hi, sorry, I'm multitasking. I actually met Lacey. She lives in my community, and I have a homesteading group, and I'm trying to build homesteading community there. I'm actually getting all my seeds ready today as we're doing this, but I will take a moment to be present and mindful as you move into your circle. So I just wanted to share that I do not have a ranch or animals at the moment, hoping to get chickens too very soon. But my main focus is homesteading skills and building community. So thank you very much for the invitation and posting this. I get to know who my neighbor is, and I get to be part of a whole new community. So thank you very much.
That's great. That's amazing. I don't have my own ranch too. Neither, not yet. I'm planning to. That's so cool.
Oh, girl,
Thank you to
don't
see
give
you on
up
the
on the
face.
dream. I think maybe I'm here to share that for sure, because this place was brought to me so divinely. You have no idea. I just, I have the stubbornness. I call it determinedness now. But it does come in handy once in a while in the fact that I just refuse to give up. I get down for sure, but I always get back up. And I feel like that's a big part of what horses have taught me, that you can fall off, but you get back on. And you keep going. I forgot about the wind in this door here. Hopefully it's not too bad.
No, it's great. The acoustic.
Okay, you can hear me all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this place was so divinely sent. I was always like, how will I ever afford this? How would I do this on my own? And the universe just took care of everything. You don't have to worry about all that stuff.
And that's so beautiful. I think that's really when you least expect it, suddenly it pops out, and then it's there, and you can just, enjoy
Yeah,
it
and I
and be
think you're
grateful.
coming from a place of love and trying to build community and help people. The universe wants to support you in that, right? It's not like you're in it for the money and trying to just follow your ego. You're following your soul and your heart mission. So of course they're going to support us in that, right?
I think if we were in it for the money, we would do something else.
Yeah, totally.
Horses eat money, they don't eat grass.
Yeah. My husband's finding out how much horses cost, and he's just like, "You're nuts." I'm like, "Well, they save my soul, so I will slave for them all day. I don't care."
They're worth it. They're worth it. I think it makes sense.
To me, I'm actually a very different person without horses in my life. I've come to recognize that. There's been a few points where along the journey that I've come away from them, and that's when I've been in a dark place and not connected to spirit. To me, this is like as close to spirit on 4 legs as you're gonna get. That's how I see it.
Makes so much sense. And Nicole, do you want to share maybe, or maybe put your camera on for a second, or put something in the chat? I don't know if you're there, because sometimes you put on a Zoom call and then you're somewhere else, Yeah. I think she's trying to put the camera on, but sometimes it doesn't work. I had this before as well. It's really the technology, the tech gremlins, as we call them. They're always there. And then I didn't even check if there's anybody, send me a message that they're in the roll call. And
She says she's trying, but it doesn't work, Hildy. Nicole said she's trying.
It doesn't work. So maybe you can put something. Oh, did she put something in the chat? Oh yeah, I'm blind. Sorry, I'm blind. Yeah. Do you want to just maybe put something, short sentence in the chat, where you're from maybe, and why you're here, or what you want to talk about, or any question you have? You can just also type it in the chat. If not, that's fine too. That's totally fine. So glad to have you here. And Lacey, yeah, let's start with a little meditation then.
Sure. I just had a few cards pop out for us here, so I'll get to those. But I will get us into a more sacred space here first.
Did the cards pull themselves?
Oh yeah, they always pop right out. So I always shuffle and I call them jumpers. They'll like literally fly out. And sometimes multiples will come out, but it's always, I always feel drawn to certain ones. And so there was probably 10 of them at least that flew out, and 2 of them were facing up. So I'll go with those ones. And they're perfect. I'm really feeling them for it. So
and it's the same. They just suddenly jump out. She knows.
Yeah, always. I just learned to trust it. Yeah. So I like to use my left hand on my heart space and my right hand on my womb space when I get into a sacred space. Whatever feels comfortable for you. If 2 on your heart feels more comfortable, sometimes I'll do 2 on my womb space. But I find that connecting those 2 areas is really beautiful and important for us as women, especially. And we'll just take a few deep breaths. I hope you can hear me. It just got really windy. Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
We'll take a few deep breaths and just come into the present moment, into present space and place. We spend so long and so much time spinning around in our busy brain, and we often forget that we have a beautiful body connected to it. And that it is trying to send us messages as well. That we tend to get, it gets overpowered by the brain messages a lot of the time. And it's there, and it's trying to communicate with us all the time. So being conscious of that. Really taking a few deep breaths. And just coming into your heart space. This is often a space that we avoid because there's pain that resides there, or emotion, discomfort that we don't want to feel. But we can't run away from it. I have discovered, believe me, I took part in mini marathons trying to run away from my feelings, and it never worked. So save yourself the trouble. And we don't have to feel it all at once. It's a bag that can be unpacked, but what we don't feel can't heal. So if we want to truly, be able to reside and come from our heart space, we have to be willing to unpack anything that might be holding us back from sharing that space and staying in that space. And I've learned that, today I'm grateful for all the heartbreaks and all the times I fell down, because those cracks are where the light gets out. The more times I've been broken, the better. I had a breakdown the other day or a week ago, and they're actually breakthroughs always for me. It just takes that amount of force sometimes for things to come through us and the enlightenment to happen. So, yeah. Welcome to the present moment. Welcome to your beautiful body. Thank you for being present with us today and being open to receiving guidance and messages. My horses are coming through. They're extremely happy to have you girls here today. They've been working along with me this journey for many years now, so they're very grateful that it's happening too. All right. So the 2 cards that popped out for us were compassion. I don't think you can see it very well. These cards are so bright and beautiful, and it's from this deck called The Power of Love, one of my very favorites, and I was called to it today, just to help combat the situation of the collective energy right now is pretty heavy, right? And so the compassion one says, you demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. Well, yeah, that was pretty much what I was just talking about. That always happens. And the other one is purpose, which I feel is really pertinent for us today as well. And I love this. I love all the rays coming out from around it. It's so beautiful. And just a reminder to shine your unique light, right? And so it says you possess the determination and dedication to consciously demonstrate love. How beautiful. And so that's, you know, been the through line of my journey, is just really finding my own light, right? And that doesn't mean that I'm off in sparkly rainbow land all the time. It means that I dig into my dark places, and I honor my roots and the darkness, and I step through it so that I can shine brighter on the other side of it. So that's been my experience of the journey anyways. Hello. So my phone is not loving the cold, so I better carry on and get this song going here before I completely lose it. I hope we don't. This girl, her name's Georgie with a J, because her mom has 2 J's branded on her bum. And it just so happens that the number on Mama's bum is Georgie's birthday, and it was put there before she was born. So I found that pretty connective, pretty synchronistic, right? And so these girls came from out west. Georgie was in her tummy, and Mommy made the trip from out west to come to Ontario, and she was in a few different places before she found my friend Amy, who had them and took amazing care of them. And then her situation had changed. She handed them off to me, and I'm just so blessed with these girls. You know, so they'll stay together and they'll stay with me for forever. That's what I tell them. We're gonna get old and gray here together, so I look forward to it. And
She
they
loves the
just teach me
drum.
every day. Oh yeah, she's so curious. Like, what's that? And so her mom's like a big chicken, and Georgie just wants to know what it is. She doesn't care. She's not afraid of it. Oh, there she freaked her out. All right. Okay. You gonna play your song? So
I hope
this song
everybody
came-
has maybe a little bit more time, because we have 5 minutes left, but I hope you stay on for a little bit longer, because we are a bit
Yeah, I hope my
above
battery
time.
stays on.
and not drop out in the middle of the meditation.
Yeah, I know, right? I might have to go in and plug my phone in. Hopefully the drum works, because it's very cold out here. We shall see. So this same song came to me. I was just feeling heavy with the energy of the world, and asked Spirit what I could do. I'm always reminded of the little hummingbird story, where she, the forest is on fire, and she carries little beaks full of water to try to help the forest fire, and all the animals laugh at her. But she says, well, maybe if we all carry some water, it'll help, right? And so, maybe we feel powerless as individuals. Sorry. We tend to feel powerless as individuals, and we have been disconnected from our power, right? In huge ways. That's been a part of the conditioning for so long. And I really feel like it's time for us to step back into our power, and that we don't have to do that in violent ways. My way of being rebellious these days, is growing a garden and sharing it with my neighbors, and trying to encourage them to come back to the earth, right? We can all just do our little part, and if it's guided, if we're going in love, we can't go wrong. That's what I think. So I'll get this out here. So I was sitting out in the snowbank in the sunshine the other day with the horses, and this came when I was feeling heavy. Can you hear it? Yeah. It's not too off. Hopefully it's okay. Peace within, peace without, choosing love, releasing down, stepping up, stepping out. Peace within, ease without, choosing love, releasing down, stepping up, stepping out. Peace within, peace without, choosing love, releasing down, stepping up, stepping out.
Thank you. That was so beautiful.
You're so welcome. I hope it sounded okay with all the sounds going on here.
It sounded very different from last night, actually.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
outside in the cold, and
The space affected, yeah, for sure.
it was beautiful how your horse reacted, and how curious she is. Oh.
It's just like, what are you doing? Oh, thank you so much for hearing me and seeing me. This is a new thing for me to share, so it's still a little nerve-wracking at times.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for sharing and for daring to share your voice with us. It's a gift. You have a really beautiful voice.
That's so funny, because it's something, a part of myself I've always struggled with. I've never loved my voice, and I've always wanted to sing, but I didn't. I just I didn't know, how to use it, I suppose, and it feels like it works. This works well for me in this way. It doesn't feel like I'm, trying or straining. It just comes really naturally. So just learn to trust it and go with it. Don't be messing with my cards here, you.
I think it's really, really, really beautiful.
She is so fun, this girl.
Hello.
So, that's what I'll do. I'll share a little bit about their medicine with you. So, Georgie's medicine is her playful, curious nature. That's what she shares, and she reminds me of that. Every day I share that the dog really helped me with that as well, and her and the dog get going. They play together, but that's what she's just constantly reminding me to have fun. And oh shoot.
This is when you are on your phone and trying to do a Zoom meeting, and then suddenly it changes from landscape to portrait, and it's not always listening to what you try to do. That's why today I decided to stay home on my computer so I can control it a little bit better, because a lot of times when you're out there in the stable, things might, technology-wise, go a little bit wrong. And I have so many more questions to ask to Lacey, and I think we need a different different event for this, and maybe the weather may be a bit warmer, and maybe there will be sun and green, and of course it looks completely different than over there. But meanwhile, while Lacey will probably try to log in again, do you have any questions, or do you want to provide feedback with us or with me at the moment about how you like this event? Our little
I just think it's beautiful. I just think it's such a beautiful gift to shine, to allow others to shine and share their gifts, and for you facilitating that. by inviting them and for us all to come. And my main saying is shine bright, the world needs your light. And for Lacey to just say what she just shared, and for her to say how things will just come together if we show up in our purpose, and that being us is enough, and that is our purpose. And if we are in our being and shining our light and our love and doing what we're just like being is enough, and then all things will fall together. And I especially appreciated, I took notes and some pictures and stuff I'll share with you, but I appreciated how she said, finding my own light, it obviously involves, right? She tried to avoid for years, but digging into our own dark light so that I can shine brighter on the other side of it. And I know that's been a really big part of my own healing journey and still is. And thank you so much for facilitating this. And I look forward to part 2.
Great. And April, for everybody who doesn't know, she has joined my other Open Staple Day, which I had just with a friend of April, with Jackie from Colorado, in 3 months ago. And so she has a little bit of an idea of what we are doing during these sessions. And we have somebody new join. Hey, I don't know if I pronounce her name correctly. And Lacey is back in. Lacey was thrown out by technology gremlins. Nicole said something. And while Lacey is recording back, I can maybe read what Nicole said. So I'm from Gurnee, Illinois, by Chicago, USA, and so happy to be here. I'm an M person, highly sensitive soul too, and love what you do to bring healing to humanity, Lacey. Thank you for shining your purpose so beautiful. Thanks, Hilde, for creating this beautiful healing event. Thank you, Nicole. It means so much to me. And hey, Augusta, and then welcome back, Lacey, to your own event. You got thrown out, I think, by the gremlins.
Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. We meanwhile had a little bit of feedback received, and I had asked how the people are liking the event so much. And April shared so beautiful a few sentences, and you want to repeat them, April, or we want to have Lacey watch the recording, or?
I could try and repeat them. I was just saying, thank you so much. You'll definitely have to watch the replay because it came out better the first time, but for such a beautiful gift that Hilda's facilitating to allow us and others shine our own beautiful light. And that if we are showing up as ourselves, that is enough. And that is our purpose and our light. And as we shine, and I shared a lot more. So yeah, watch the replay. And thank you.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else want to share something, how they liked it so much? Maybe give some feedback. Michelle, you want to share something?
I'm thankful to hear the message. We never hear this message of love and sharing too much. I think that it needs to be repeated, especially right now, just to bring it home and to keep us conscious and to keep it on the surface. So thank you, Lacey, for sharing so much. Great job. Yes, thank you.
And
I'll just say it so you don't have to wait too long for the replay, Lacey. I was saying, my main saying that I tell people, and my daughters like tease me all the time, and everybody in the world, as I say, shine bright, the world needs your light. And to hear your message and just resonate so deeply with my own healing journey about when you had said, and you tried, obviously, like we all have for many years, to avoid pain and things, but you said finding my own light and digging deep into our own dark light so that I can shine brighter on the other side of it. And that's so beautiful. And I mean, I say that every day, shine bright, the world needs your light. And like Michelle was just saying, and especially now more than ever. So, and we're going to do it one at a time by healing ourselves, shining our light. And like you are sharing, Lacey, your beautiful gifts, and listening and trusting yourself and acting on it, right? And coming forward and so beautiful, so honored that you're here shining your light with us so that we may also shine.
Oh, thank you so much. That's what it's all about. I have 2 teenage boys, and they get pretty annoyed with me a lot of the times, but I'll literally yell that out the door, shine bright today.
Yeah, my daughter has an online boutique and it took off internationally, and I hand wrote every card before it took off. Thank you. And I said, keep shining bright. The world needs your light.
Aw.
And she says, you should get that tattooed, Mom, and I'm like, it's so true,
That's a good idea for a tattoo. I agree, because I'm still searching for something to be tattooed on my body, even though I was always against tattoos lately. Lately, I think it's a
Most
good
of mine
thing.
are reminders, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think.
Well, and it's just ironic because I've been on my own healing journey, and I'm a former hospice worker, and that's how I met Jackie, and that's how I met Hilda, right? So it's like all connected. And so I started my own photography greeting card business, and I'm not a photographer. I'm just shooting from my heart and the emotion and how I feel. And I started the business with sunflowers, fields of sunflowers, individual sunflowers. And now with what's happening, right? It's just even more poignant. I think even more is going to come with it.
Beautiful.
That's
I love
beautiful.
that.
I need to tag you on a thing I just shared on Facebook, April.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just finally started it, and it's heartnotescards.com. And I started with sunflowers and ladybugs, and I'm, and about shining bright. The world needs your light. And like how Lacey had said, like, you don't see it like maybe at the time, but then how this journey is all pieced together. And then like one day these things start showing up, and even while you're in it, you're like, what's happening?
Oh yeah, it didn't make sense at the time, but now it's like, oh wow, it totally, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, beautiful example, Lacey. Thank you so much. And to everyone here.
I would love to carry your cards in my shop once I start restocking again. So we'll have to stay in touch.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I finally just launched it on Friday. I mean, it's been in the works, 6 months, but I was able to, I've been on a long healing journey since I left hospice, and I've been doing a lot of work and a lot of deep, deep work with the healing and the trauma. And here we are. And you know what? I'm going to keep going, because I did not come this far to only come this far. And I will keep going for us, for all of us, for myself, and for all of us, and just do what I can and keep going one at a time, and one act of kindness at a time. Keep breathing out love, keep shining.
You never know who it's affecting. Every day somebody will tell me, that something I said or posted or did had a positive effect for them, and I don't realize it at the time. Maybe I'm just doing my thing, kind of, but that's what keeps me going. A lot of the time, there's days where I'm like, what am I doing? I'm tired. Why am I doing this? But every time something like that comes through and keeps me going. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you again, Hilda, for putting this together and inviting Lacey and inviting so many others to this only beginning.
Yeah. I will invite you too one day, April. That would be great.
That'll need like a 2-hour session.
You never know. I could have never imagined doing this, to be honest. I used to be so shy and I would not talk. I would be so nervous. Oh my goodness. So never say never.
And here you are listening, and here you are to answering the call and saying yes. And not only that, but sharing your voice and singing and these things, and you're just like shining even brighter.
They made it so painful, to be honest. I couldn't avoid it anymore.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's why I agreed early on when you said it became more painful to not be living in your authentic self and not be sharing your gifts, right?
It felt like, your soul is like dying. That's what it felt like to me. And I just couldn't live that way. To me, there's no point. Like I have to do everything from my heart or not at all. That's just how
Yeah,
I'm made.
such a beautiful inspiration to us and beautiful inspiration to all, and such beautiful, vulnerable courage.
Thank you.
I love that. To either do everything from the heart or not do it at all. I mean, I'm an all or nothing person, and a lot of times I took decisions in my life where my heart completely disagreed, and I ignored it, and I wasn't connected with it. A lot of times I didn't even feel it beating. I thought it was dead, even though, of course, it wasn't. I was alive, but
Been there, yeah.
and I have so many questions still for you, Lacey, but the time is almost up, and I don't want to keep everybody Sunday completely busy. So we agreed that we will have another event with you in the summer when the weather is better, because your
Please,
so different in the green. And I
I'd
know
love to show you the magical meadow and all the fairies and everything. Yeah,
absolutely, and the river, and oh my God, it's so amazing.
it's absolutely magical. That's what goes on here.
One more question: how can people reach you if they want to work with you? And we didn't really get into detail of all the things you're doing, because you're doing so many things. I know you also do like workshops to make your own drum, which I love. I want to come because I want to have my own drum. But there's so many things you're doing, and how can people reach you and find out what you're doing? Because I know you don't have a website yet, because
not yet. It's like so close.
Husband is busy.
my best friend and the New Moon co-host Sydney, she's working on that for me. So I'm so fortunate in that regard, and it should be ready very soon. I can't wait to see her creation. So yeah, that will be available, but I am definitely all over Facebook. I have my personal account is Lacey Punky Piper. And then there's the Heathen and Crone Healing Homestead page as well. I'm on Instagram. I have, we're at Heathen and Crone Homestead on there. And then I have my personal one is at the Celtic _ at the _ Celtic _ Crone. I can type these out somewhere as well on one of the posts or something. And yeah, those are my main areas. You can Messenger is probably the best way to get a hold of me, and or through Instagram, whichever.
Yeah, that's I usually reach you through Instagram Messenger, and she's very active. Oh, how come I'm not following you? That's impossible. I just saw I'm not following the Celtic Crone. I will share the link in the chat right now, so people can already connect with you, because you have so many things, right? I
know, yeah, I do have it gets overwhelming some days. And then I do have the Celtic Crone Facebook group is just like a free group for women to really connect, and I go a little bit deeper in that group. And we do new moon circles online, and I do an intuitive development circle every Wednesday at 10 a.m. right now on Zoom as well. And then we're working on getting things going here for spring in person. I do Reiki from a distance, and from the healing room here as well. I do readings online, card readings, and yeah, we got lots of stuff going on here.
Yeah, and I've yesterday for the first time joined your circle and the new moon. It was amazing. I really can recommend it. I usually didn't join because it was in the middle of night, 3 a.m. over here.
Yes,
I was sleeping in. It was so good. I couldn't, I had to be there.
Oh, and we have it exciting this summer. This has been years in the works. We're having a Wild Woman weekend. So we are spending the weekend in the magical meadow, camping out and just getting back to Mother Earth and plant medicine, horse medicine, drumming, singing, fire, clothing's optional. Just being our wild selves and, connecting in sisterhood and just love. So much love.
That's so amazing. That's the advantage if you have your own ranch. And I recently moved my horse to a different stable. I mean, I'm renting, and there are 20 horses, and I can use some of them for coaching. But now I even have a location where I can bring people and do retreats, and they can have food and they can stay over. There's a bed and breakfast next to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, that's so exciting.
Coming, even though it's not mine, I can rent it. Yeah.
Oh, that was part of my journey. I worked for other people, and hosted out of other stables and places for years. So, and honestly, it was a lot less stress. So enjoy it.
It's true. It's true. I don't need to, clean the shit at the moment.
Yes,
Focus on healing aside
literally and figuratively.
skin problem. And but that's also something I love about Lacey. Whenever there's something going on with your animals or even with yourself, she can do a healing session from Canada, even though I'm in Belgium. She was connecting to my horse, and and then it was so funny. She was like, your horse spoke a different language. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was so funny.
The horse doesn't, the horse was speaking Dutch probably, and but now I think it's more and more English because I've been speaking English with her as well, and German. She's getting international horse.
That's so awesome.
But it's so cool. So I have a lot more questions, but we will do it another time, another event. Anything? Yeah, I think. Thank you so much, everybody who was here, and I think just us here for a moment, like thinking about Ukraine and thinking about the people over there in Russia, because a lot of them are also against the war and, going on the streets and then risking their lives and risking their freedom by, standing up for what is right. And
yeah, I've been keeping a candle going for them as much as I can, and just keep them in your heart,
Yeah.
The worrying isn't going to help anything. So we really just have to focus on the love.
Yeah, I said to my daughter that there should be a school strike for peace, because there was a school strike for climate all over the world. Greta Thunberg was leading it, and then so many millions and millions of people went out on the street, and sometimes the parents went to support them. But for me, especially because it's like 10 hours away from where my family lives, it's 20 hours away from where I am currently living. I'm even further away, luckily. Still, it feels like it's in my front yard, kind of. I feel like I want to put everything down and go on the streets for this. This is something worth marching for. The streets. It's peace, and especially if you have somebody who has his finger on atomic bombs, and if he should be in a mental hospital, if you ask me.
Right? Oh my God!
I think people above 70 should not be presidents anymore. I think it's more our
Is
generation.
there even like a mental health check before they get in there? Like, I'm wondering.
They should install that. It doesn't make sense.
Police officers have to do it.
The Ukrainian president, he was born in the same age as me. He's quite young and quite modern. And
oh wow.
I think it's a time for a new generation to be leading.
Goodbye, April. Nice to have you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, and thank you everybody who was joining us and bringing your wonderful energy and your love and your feedback and showing your faces or putting something in the chat. I'm so happy everybody came here and said hello. Anything you want to add, Lacey?
You did just remind me, actually, I forgot to mention my farm school project has been one of my latest focus. And so I've been called to this for years, probably 10 years. This vision has been coming to me of just providing an alternative for children who don't necessarily thrive in the traditional school environment. And I know I was one of those children. So I've been doing this for years on my own. I worked for other people. I did a wild child day a few summers ago before COVID. And it was absolutely miraculous to watch these kids, and so fun. So we would do an hour of art therapy, an hour of nature therapy, and an hour of horse therapy. Aww. And these kids just lived for Wednesdays. They just loved it. I would let them swim in the, the pond and jump in the mud, and I'm in there with them. I'm having fun, and we're frog hunting. And I'm really feeling called to get that going here, and especially with, the situation in Canada with vaccines and things just being really crazy and divided. I feel like it really needs to happen, and give people an alternative option, and just show kids how to get back to growing food and connecting with animals. I think they've really come away from that with technology, unfortunately. So
I love that. I want to send my daughter to such a school. She's so happy with her current school, and I'm like, I want to. And then her father said, maybe you just do homeschooling. I was like, yeah, let me have the farm, the horses, and nature, and yeah, why not do homeschooling? I think she would profit from this,
yeah, if I could do it over, I would do that with my boys. The only is the social aspect. But if you're, having more kids with you, then, you're covering that too. So
You can
yeah.
create your own school.
Yeah, if I was gonna do it over again, I would for sure.
That's so cool. Maybe with your grandchildren.
Yeah, and honestly, I just love doing it. Like I miss it. We really got kind of shut down with COVID. It was just hard to get people out, and people were so afraid, right? So and I was just busy getting this place ready. So hopefully for this year, that's my main focus right now.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who joined. I really loved being with you and spending time with you, and hope you enjoyed as well. And thank you, Lacey, for showing us your stable, opening your stable to us and sharing.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we will share the recording with everybody who participated. I hope I have everybody's contact details. If not, we will find a way to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day, evening, whatever it is over there, time zone. And see you
Stay magical.
next time. Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.